Hello, ladies and gentlemen, crypto deep divers. Welcome back to Weekly Crypto. Today, I'm going to do a quick update about the coronavirus. And of course, gold has been pumping up because of the uncertainty of the epidemics, as well as Bitcoin has been pumping as well. This is partly because of the halving and also because of the epidemics. And of course, in terms of the stock market, still very complacency. And because there's a lot of easy money and in the market, because right now is almost a 0%, and they print tons and tons of money. And then all this money go to the stock market. And of course, China pumped into huge amount of money into the stock market to keep the market afloat. Otherwise, it will be disaster because if the market collapse in China, there will be a social unrest for sure. And with all this easy money out on the street, eventually there will be inflation. And right now, what I heard in China, people are fighting for basic supply. For example, the masks, the guns, and different provinces are fighting for those things, for the surgical supply. There's a huge shortage of surgical supply, protection gear in China. And different provinces are fighting all these resources. And all these resources, the price only go higher and higher because people cannot go back to the factory to work, because if you go back, maybe that will create another potential outbreak. And most of the provinces are still locked down, right? So that will be I don't know, the price of those material will be increasing. And another thing, this is not confirmed. The confirmed case is underestimate. If you follow my channel for quite some time, I have already tell people on day one, this is a falsely underestimate number because the test kit, and they don't have enough test kit in China anyway, as well as the Chinese government want to control how many test kit per day to be given out to be tested, like 2,000 kits per day. And in terms of death, of course, this is totally wrong too, right? This is totally underestimate. Right now, Singapore has 33 cases. That's a lot of cases in Singapore. 32 in Thailand, 26 in Hong Kong, 25 in Japan, 24 in South Korea, 17 Taiwan, 16 Malaysia, 15 Australia, 13 Germany, 13 Vietnam, 12 in the US, and 11 in France, 10 in Macau, 7 in Canada, and Philippines in 3. So all this number we have been telling everybody, this is underestimate. And of course, there's an outbreak in Singapore. You would think Singapore can control the epidemics, and yet look at what happened in here. They have the highest confirmed case, 33 case, even more than Hong Kong. And Singapore is more dense. Hong Kong is more densely populated than Singapore. And Hong Kong is near the border of China. There's like tons and tons of mainland Chinese going down to China every day. And yet there are fewer cases than Singapore because in Singapore, they don't take this seriously. And they don't wear masks in the subway when they go outside. But in Hong Kong, because of the SARS, back in 2000, I think, 2013, they are they're highly vigilant. Everybody wear a mask to prevent this virus. And Singapore is not vigilant at all. They thought this. They still think this is not serious, and now they take things seriously. And right now in Singapore, you cannot even buy toilet paper anymore, and all this basic necessity. People are going into the store to buy in fear and everything. And I don't know what's going on, but and actually, there's also another outbreak in Singapore. They have an international conference meeting probably in Grand Hyatt in a luxury hotel in Singapore, and I think those people are come from all over the world, from China, from the U.S., from Europe, from Malaysia, from South Korea, from everywhere. So I think one attendee also from Wuhan, China. Ridiculous. How can they travel? To another country to do a conference, and I think around 600 people isolate, and I think a few people already have symptoms. They have fever, typical stuff. But the thing is, a lot of time they don't have any symptoms. They already become contagious and spreading the virus to other people without knowing it. So this is the dangerous part of the virus. If you have symptoms, you stay home. You feel sick, or if you have symptoms, then you go to the hospital and then you get tested. and then you got quarantined right away. But the dangers of this virus is no symptoms. And people comparing the regular flu to coronavirus is like comparing apple and oranges. So regular flu, you have symptoms, you feel sick, and then you stay home. Then you quarantine yourself at least, right? Because you feel so sick, you don't want to go to work or something. But this thing, you have no symptom, nothing. Then you think everything is fine, and then you're already contagious and you're spreading the virus to the community without yourself knowing it. This is like a walking dead. Another scary part is the I think this is nothing new. He's tweeting about a Chinese citizen who has traveled to Ecuador and tested negative for the coronavirus, had died of a very high fever. And there's a few, I think there's a lot of cases, not just a few. I think there's a lot of cases that a patient who tested negative a few times, and then subsequently tested positive in China. And one case in China, that guy tested three times negative for coronavirus, and the fourth time finally tested positive. The thing is, when they tested, they use a nasal swab, they swab your nose, they swab your throats to get the culture, and then to see if you have a coronavirus. But then for whatever reason, this coronavirus can hide in your lower respiratory, that means in your lungs. And for whatever reason, they are not in your upper respiratory. And the only way you can do the lower respiratory, that is in the hospital. They usually scope you down, right? And then they'll get a culture from your lungs to see if you have pneumonia, or to get a culture to see what type of bacteria you have, in the hospital. Typically they do that, but not in the community. They're not going to scope you down to the lung. And but this is serious, because even though you go to the clinic, you tested negative, doesn't mean anything, because subsequently you can be tested positive. So this is very dangerous. So this is very different from a regular flu, because regular flu, if you swab the nose, swab the culture, swab the throat, then you can confirm whether you have like the influenza. That is pretty accurate. The accuracy is pretty high. But this coronavirus, the accuracy is not very high. I mean, this is like very, very dangerous. So this doctor is just talking about how he doesn't know how he get the virus and all that. And this is more dangerous. You can see this thing is kind of crazy. The Chinese government is digging something in here. Are they going to bury thousands and thousands, tens and thousands of people in this area? Looks like a buried site, right? Are they going to put all the dead body here and then just bury? We don't know. It looks pretty scary. The thing is, why I say that is because the cremation center in Wuhan, they have to work 24/7. I mean, to get things done, and they are already over the capacity, and that's mean a lot of dead body. They need to cremate. And they have to pick up the dead body from the hospital, and then they will cremate the patient, cremate the body, and so every day they probably cremate like hundreds and hundreds of people. So just one cremation center, they can process like hundreds of people if they work 10 hours. But the thing is, they work almost 24/7. So that means that a lot of people die already. And based on this, let's see. So based on this number, they're talking about under 1,000. It doesn't make sense at all. Maybe 30,000 deaths, and this is more like over 340,000 confirmed case. And the thing is, like, the test kit, they control the number of test kit, as well as even though you tested negative, you can be subsequently tested positive. So it doesn't. I mean, to me, this number is just a lie. That's all I can say. It's just a sense of how can I say? And also this number, somebody say, oh, it hasn't been increased by that much. So this number is highly manipulated, and we are not at the peak yet. I don't want to scare everybody. We are not even at the peak. So don't be too complacency. I think a lot of people are very complacency. depending on what country you're living in right now. I think US, Europe, they are very complacency. They think it's not going to go over there. But then all you take is one person. One person, they travel somewhere like overseas, in China, in Singapore, or Malaysia, whatever, I don't know. Then if they are coronavirus carrier, just bring to the community. All you need is just one person, and then it can be spread to multiple people. And then that another multiple people can spread to multiple people. This is like exponential growth. So based on the epidemiology model, one person can spread to 3 to 4 people. So you can calculate 1 to 3, and then 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 3 is like 36. You can just count the number. This is like exponential growth. And another thing is I don't know if you still remember the previous video I showed. They are trying to disinfecting the city in Wuhan, spraying a whole bunch of aerosol. I don't know what type of chemical they spray throughout the city. Maybe those are disinfected alcohol. And then this building, because of the disinfecting alcohol, have some type of explosion in the building. I didn't see any mainstream media talk about these things. This is like, oh my God, the whole building are on fire. This is crazy. See, the whole building is on fire. And I don't think the mainstream media talk about this thing. And this is a massive explosion in Chongqing apartment building. And this is in Hubei province, the epicenter. So I think they sprayed the alcohol, because I was suspecting, what are they spraying? Are they spraying like chemicals or spraying some kind of alcohol? If you spray alcohol, that's dangerous because it can cause fire. And it is exactly freaking what happened. I mean, I don't know what the Chinese government thinking, the CCP. They are too extreme what they're doing. And they hide this virus, this news since October, because when they first discovered this coronavirus is back in October. And then they didn't say anything until almost like the end of January, right? And even though like the end of January, people still doesn't take this seriously. Now, do they take it seriously? I think so, right? The case is like exponential compared to the regular flu or compared to the SARS, right? And people compare regular flu to coronavirus. Are they naive or what? Seriously, I don't understand why they mislead the public. So in terms of exponential growth, regular flu is not like that. So this is the danger. And I mean, do they know the difference? I mean, why they keep on sending all this misleading information to the public? They should be vigilant, okay? I'm not saying you have to be panic or anything. Just be vigilant. Just protect yourself. Wash your hands frequently. If you go to a crowded area or taking a public transit or in a train, you should wear a mask to protect yourself. You don't know who will be the carrier because there's no symptoms. And don't touch your face, your nose, your eyes, just try not to touch it because those are the point of entry to the virus. And just wash your hands very frequently. So this is very important. I cannot stress enough, but people are not very vigilant. I feel like this pandemic is inevitable. I think a lot of countries still not very vigilant. For example, in Singapore, I'm surprised Singapore has so many cases because Singapore is very good at doing those stuff. But right now, because they are not vigilant enough, their citizens is not vigilant enough because even though they have cases at the time, nobody in the subways wear masks. Nobody. And they don't take it seriously. And I'm so surprised they are more than Thailand or Hong Kong I'm surprised because like in terms of population, Hong Kong is very densely populated area and they are close to China. How come they have less cases than Singapore? This doesn't make sense, right? Does it make sense to you? I don't understand. But let me know what you think about this. And how you are going to prepare for this upcoming, not upcoming, it's already there, these epidemics. And I'm not surprised this will be a global pandemic. This is just a matter of time. And right now, we are not at the peak yet. So people have a false sense of hope. This is the peak. No. This is still the beginning of the virus. We have yet more to come. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to create fear, but this is just based on what I have read in the study in different parts of the world, what is happening right now. And a lot of things mainstream media won't even talk about it. Maybe they have another agenda, right? So even YouTube. YouTube, when you watch video, they have like some type of like revenue. Whenever I post coronavirus, I don't receive any revenue because they choose not to do that because they want to censor something. Maybe they want to discourage you to create videos of coronavirus, I guess. So even though I create all this video, I don't receive any those advertising revenue because they choose not to choose not to give it to the YouTubers for that. So this is type of censorship. So that's why we need a decentralized YouTube. So anyway, please comment below what do you think about this and how do you prepare for this epidemics and how do you protect yourself and the families from this epidemics. Please comment below. I would love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, also share with your friends. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the upcoming airdrop or token swap. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. LBRY.TV is a decentralized YouTube, and because of YouTube potential censorship, actually I got banned from YouTube during Christmas anyway. So and this is ridiculous anyway. So that's why we need to join the decentralized movement. So join the LBRY.TV. If you're interested, you can click the link below. Also, you can earn LBRY token just by watching video. Join LBRY.TV. So click the link below and join the movement of decentralized YouTube. And remember, crypto deep divers, we the people take control of our money. Stay wise, stay safe, peace. I'm not a financial advisor. Investing in cryptocurrency, commodity, and stock market has inherent risks. Please use your due diligence. I'm not a health advisor. Please consult with your doctors and healthcare provider about this coronavirus. And thank you.